Hi friends! This is DaintyTank. Thank you for joining me. Welcome back to First Snow. This is part 4, I do believe. I'm very confident. Part 4. Poke Totoro for the upper eye card area, thingy stuff, poke things. Subscribe! Anyways, hi! I hope you've had a fantastic week, day, whatever it is. I am, as you can tell, all over the place. So it's going to be a fun recording today. Anyways, so last we left off, we just finished Act 1, which is basically all of the club coming together. We got to learn more about Aline, as well as Wallace, who seems to be a couple of years older, but has thus been, dragged into the group, which is really cute. And, it is such a great... words. I'm having trouble getting the words out. It's such a great story with how they're portraying every single little tiny aspect that makes it much more human, much more connected to the reader. Instead of just saying she's anxious, it says, jumping at the sound of trash cans or something, where you feel that anxiety yourself instead of reading, oh, anxious. Okay, you just put a label on it instead of, I feel it. And so I'm really excited to see where this goes. So, with that, let's keep going. Load the game. Drive. Caprice and I step out onto the busy sidewalk per Aline's orders, the chatty girl leaning through the passenger door as Aline tries to get the car going again. Giving a long stretch to help my stiff back, I do my best to keep out of the way. After news of Aline's owning a car leaked out, oh no, Caprice's mind immediately set about organizing the art club's first outing. Inspiration for our art, she called it, but it was obviously an excuse to hang out. With things having gone this awry, I feel a little bad for going along with the idea despite Elaine's reluctance. Oh dear. Their investigations apparently coming to nothing, Caprice rights herself as the car falls silent. Aline closes the door behind her with some force before plodding around to us, frustration written all over her face. Looks like the engine won't idle at all. Serves me right for buying secondhand. Know why it's not working? No idea. She looks a little sheepish for not having the answer on hand, but I can't say I blame her. As the two of us mull over our options, we become distracted by Caprice and her wide grin. She has a plan kicked up already, for better or worse. What are you smiling about now? I've got this! Just stay right here. I'm gonna make a call. Who are you gonna call? Aline and I grimace at each other in unison, but Caprice bounces off down the street before either of us can object, getting the phone from her pocket as she walks. She flits between the people around her while unbothered by the ice on the sidewalk. She seems just like such a chipper human. The background hum of people chatting and the cars passing by takes over once again as we find ourselves at loose ends. Not like we could go anywhere else anyway. You're not going to try and stop her? Think she'd listen to me if I tried? That's a fair point. Both of them are rather stubborn, so I suppose it's inevitable they'd clash sometimes. On the bright side, of all the places to break down, here isn't so bad. The weather's not too chilly, and it's nice to observe people sometimes, especially when they're bundled up in cute winter outfits. Aww. Some city workers in the distance are already beginning to set up the downtown Christmas tree, providing some entertainment for the people walking by as they struggle with the unwieldy thing. Things will change as last-minute Christmas shoppers and sale hunters start rushing around, but right now, it's a pleasant atmosphere. Aw. Turning back to Aline, she doesn't seem as content to patiently pass the time people watching as I am. I'm gonna go grab a coffee. Want one? I'm fine. Probably having a bit too much of it lately. There's no such thing as too much. Hear, hear. Coffee's great. As I shake my hand at her offer, Aline simply shrugs and begins strolling down the road in the opposite direction to Caprice. Rather than dance around the crowd, people make way... Rather than dancing around the crowd, people make way for Aline as she moves, her gaze fixed in nosebleed taller than most. Little to do now but watch the car huff into my gloved hands a couple of times to try and warm them. At least the aquarium should be warmer, if we ever manage to finish the trip there. You're off to the aquarium? Okay. Buzz. Just as I'm about to settle in and watch the passing crowds, the phone in my pocket begins to vibrate and ring. Not sure who I could be, I quickly grab for it. Dad? Without a second thought, I swipe my finger on the screen to pick up the call. Dad, hi! Hey, sweetie. It's good to hear your voice again. How are you? How are things? Sound of the crowd fades away as I listen to him, a comfortable warmth coming over me as I feel insulated from their gazes and focus on the conversation. Things are good, I guess. Haven't caught up at a bad time, have I? I could call back later. No, just out with friends. He gives his usual weird laugh. Anyways, sounding a lot more like air moving through closed teeth than a normal full-bellied chuckle. Oh, hold on. Oh, that's creepy. It never fails to make me smile all the time, though. Yeah, it's really creepy. What's that about? Just a relief to hear that. We've all been worried about you finding new friends after such a big change. What with changing schools and moving out. Thinking to the people I've met in school, I guess I really have. Caprice pulled me into her orbit. Wallace seems nice and caring for all his intimidating size. And then there's Aline. They might be a bit odd, but they're all caring in their own ways. It's funny how art seems to have drawn us all together, each in a different way. Before I respond, I vaguely hear my mother's voice in the background. Your mother said to ask if things are going okay at home. Everything's good. Rose has been a big help with everything. It's vastly understating things. If it weren't for her, I don't know how I would have coped. Not just for the constant homework and errands, but also for being away from everyone and everything I knew before. I might still have my ups and downs, but the last thing I want to do is stress them out over me. That's good to hear. Hopefully it'll take a bit of stress off a certain someone. Tell Rose hello for us, if you remember. Can do. How's everyone there? Your brothers are a pain in the ass like always, for one. Right on cue, one of them loudly complains in the background. As you can tell. How's Lucy? Same as always, she's sleeping in the other room. I hear my mother's voice again in the background. Oh right, she knocked a mug off the counter the other day. Your mom gave her a good scolding. I think she's acting out without you around. I can't help but laugh imagining it. My mother exasperated with my cat. Aww. Anyway, we're getting by. It ain't the same without you, though. In a whispered voice, he continues. It's hard to get moments of peace around here. Make sure to give your mother a call sometime, okay? I'll call her, don't worry. Atta girl. Anything worrying you? On your mind? No, things are good. I realize my mistake the moment I answer, having spoken just a little too quickly to make it seem normal. My mind starts to replay embarrassing situations I've been in, the constant concerns and worries of living alone, the loneliness. Dad's coming voice cuts through, interrupting my spiraling thoughts. I'd better let you get back to your friends. I hope I'm not keeping you away. It's fine. I'm just happy to hear from you again. We miss you too. Christmas around here will be a lot warmer once you're back for the holidays. We're going to miss you at Nana's this year. I really can't wait to see all of you again. I'll be looking forward to it too. I love you, Allison. I love you too. Bye. Aww, healthy relationship. Yay. That's good. A few seconds pass before a familiar beeping on the end of the ended call tone rings in my ear. Can't bring myself to do it. Aww. Putting away the phone, I feel like I should be happy to have spoken to my family again. That couldn't be any further from what I feel, though. The horrible lump in my throat only gets worse as I stare down glumly at the dirty snow on the sidewalk. My heart hurts. Taste of my mother's food, my old bedroom, all the friends I left behind when I went to this college, my cat. They all come flooding back. It's just homesickness. I've dealt with this before and more than once. The fact it'll pass doesn't help right now, though. Noticing Aline through the crowd. Coffee cup in hand as she sips away. Take a long breath and try to steady myself. I don't want to look weird in front of her, getting all sulky in the middle of the street. That was quick. Hey, the cavalry's here too. She jerks her head towards the top of the street in the answer to my confusion. Oh? Oh my god. Caprice frantically waves to flag someone down, their little cart sliding into the parking spot not far from where Aline's ended up. It looks well cared for despite its age. Oh. All Aline and I can do is stare as the driver opens the door and steps out. I'm more than a little surprised when I recognize her as being another student from college. She looks to be about our age despite her ladylike appearance, her tall figure dressed in a smart trench coat and scarf. It's quite a fashionable look, and hardly who I expected to arrive. As Caprice excitedly chats to her, I feel myself shrinking behind Aline a little out of shyness. She looks much more apathetic about the whole affair, simply taking a long sip of her coffee. Getting on Aline's good side made me forget how unsociable she can be. Ta-da! Found a mechanic right away. What? I feel a little sheepish for assuming the worst of her little mission. Caprice seems to be very friendly with the woman, but it's hard to read much into that given Caprice's personality. Hi, I'm Millie. The two of us are roommates. Mechanic might be stretching things a bit far, but I should be able to help. And now, Millie, it's time for you to meet my art club. Introducing Aline and Allison. All I can do is give a weak smile as Aline snorts in a hurry disapproval. Like it or not, looks like we're a part of this misadventure for good. I might have sworn there was already an art club. Psh, that one is garbage, minus the cool art club. I love this. So, that's what you've been so happy about lately. Shame on me thinking you were ever jealous of my position in the writing club. Is that what all of this is about? Caprice wanting to be on the level with her friend? I guess it worked out well for us anyway. So, you're in charge of the writing club? The current leader's graduating at the end of the semester, so he's handing the reins to me. Seems I made a good impression on him. And the rest of the club doesn't get a say? That's how it works. I like to call it a stable line of succession. That face. Just a stable line of succession. Or nepotism. Who knows? Speaking of which, I need to get back to the writings I was doing before I got that phone call. Car had issues? Yeah, engine died without any warning. Managed to coast it to the side of the road. Aline doesn't seem exactly taken with the situation. Millie's explanation of her being a writer not explaining her ability to fix a car. We don't have much option but put our faith in her at this point. I'm guessing Caprice gave you the briefing? Need me around to start the thing? Ooh, let me! Aline narrows her eyes, but eventually sighs and chucks her keys at the girl. Caprice's momentary hesitation shows. She expected that to work no more than I did. Just don't go for a drive or something. I assume you... words. I assure you, you haven't seen me actually angry yet. Oh god. The seriousness of her tone seems to penetrate a little. Of course, Caprice being Caprice, it doesn't take long for her to bounce back. Literally bounce back. Now then, let's fix this thing. Right, let's have a look. You guys are cute. She gives a confident smile before popping the hood. Caprice taking on the job of her assistant. To Millie's credit, she looks like a natural as she quickly moves this and that around about to peer inside. Peer inside? Is that how you spell peer? Doesn't matter. If you don't need us, we'll go for a short walk, alright? Got it! Okay. The meaning of we becomes clear as Aline puts a hand around my shoulder to direct me. The two of us walking off beside each other and leaving the two to their work. It feels a bit weird to have Aline's arm around my back and holding my shoulder as we walk side by side. Uh-huh. Even it is to guide me, she takes a long while to let go. But oh my god, bridge! There's a bridge in the background! It's adorable! All of these backgrounds are gorgeously painted. Like, ugh, I love this style. You sure you're alright leaving them alone? Not at all. Not like I could do anything to actually help, though. All I could do is awkwardly laugh it off. Don't have the first clue on even day-to-day maintenance for a car, after all. So maybe just staying out of the supposed mechanic's way might be for the best. At least it broke the ice a bit, as I still feel a little unsure when I'm alone with her. I can never seem to get a read on Aline. Every time we talk, I end up getting caught in her pace. Even now, I'm not sure why she pulled me away to walk with her. No, that's not quite true. She must notice me being depressed earlier, even if she isn't saying anything about it. Given how she also invited me over for dinner when I was hungry, seems she really does care for me despite her stoic exterior. As she drops her emptied coffee cup into a bin as we pass, I realize it's going to be up to me to raise the subject. So, you saw me earlier, huh? You did look a bit bummed when you got off the phone. Didn't want to bring it up if you didn't, though. She left me no choice. I missed talking to my family after so long. Sorry for being so flustered. Nothing to be sorry for, it's only natural. So, you're homesick, huh? Sometimes. Moving out for the first time is a big deal. You don't need to beat yourself up over feeling stressed. Thanks. I thought I was doing okay, but when I heard my dad's voice again, it reminded you of what you're away from. Gave a simple nod. She doesn't seem to be speaking in an overly soft or caring tone, but she's listening carefully. I appreciate it, really. She doesn't come off as patronizing. I can't imagine living alone. I have no idea how you do it. She gives an absent-minded shrug. I'm not really fussed about that sort of thing. Besides, Wallace drops by sometimes, and you're welcome as well. It's good that you have a roommate you can get along with, though. That'd help. I get the feeling Aline's circling around what she actually wants to say. As she looks to me, I think she realizes that the game is up, and two of us stopping as she turns in front of me. We're all freshmen here. You, me, Caprice, we're all away from our families and trying to find our niche. If you want to talk or vent, we're around. Wallace told me you talked, so you have that big oaf as well. That's it, I guess. I might have thought I'd want to worry her, but her reassurances are more comforting than I'd guessed they'd be. Even as I manage to gather myself, I can't help but smile. I know it's a little bit selfish, but it's sort of nice to have someone worried over me. To my surprise, she brings her head up to my head and starts ruffling my hair. It's hard to read her expression as she does so, but I don't feel put off at all. Quite the opposite. She paused for a moment, face stuck. Sorry if you don't. It's fine. I only just managed to sputter the words out, my dumb smile better at getting the message across. Taking the cue, she begins petting my head once more. I forgot how much I missed simple physical interaction, as awkward as she might be at it. A hug might be a bit more normal, but somehow it's hard to imagine Aline doing that. It's not a secret I'm not great at this kind of thing. Just keep what I've said in mind, alright? I will. Everyone's here to help me. I'll remember that. Removing her hand, Aline and I start heading back towards the car side by side. It's easy for someone who's outgoing to comfort another, but it feels somehow more sincere from a loner like Aline. She's making extra effort for my sake. Somehow, I feel a little warmer than I did before we walk back. Maybe the weather's improved, but I doubt that's it. I guess you've had experience living alone, haven't you? Me? Just moving out for college, same as you. So we're in the same situation, yet Aline has everything so together that she can offer me help like this. Moreover, she's known so this entire time. It's a sigh in defeat. College has really driven home how everyone's different. Sure has. Oh. The reason for the dreariness in her voice becomes apparent as I follow her gaze. Caprice happily bouncing off the car, shutting the door as we stroll up. Everyone sure is different. Hey guys! The impromptu mechanic appears finished as well, righting herself and closing the hood after poking around inside. She absent-mindedly wipes the sweat off her forehead, leaving some grease on her face before realizing her error. Oh, that's cute. Whoops! Well, it's fixed for now. Looks like the fuse went. Nothing major. I've done what I could here, but it needs a proper fix back at the shop. This'll get you going, though. What did you... If a fuse popped... Okay. No. Nope. If a fuse popped, then you actually need to replace that with another fuse. Not all fuses are created equal. If your fuse for your engine failed, that's a big fuse. Where did you get that fuse? There's no other fuse that matches that. It's not like you can take the fuse for the lights and the electrical. That's... I have feelings. And it's okay. Millie's an expert. Aline's impressed look is shared by me. Being so handy is a good trait to have, and she did come all the way out here to help us. I'm impressed. Fixed cars before? I was about to recommend taking it to my dad's solder shop, actually. Your dad's shop is as good as any other. I'll sort something out this afternoon. This is where I'd shake your hand and thanks, but you know. Millie gives a self-deprecating smile in response. Caprice passes her handkerchief from her pocket, which Millie quickly uses to wipe her hands as best she can. Aw. Hey, since you're already here, I'll let you all get on with your art club adventure. I have other things I need to do, sorry. Have fun! With that, we give our farewells to Millie as she heads back towards her car. Her momentary curlish grin towards the deflated Caprice doesn't go unnoticed. Ooh! A rivalry in the making? Oh no! Aline snatches her keys from the girl's hand, wasting no time in addressing the both of us. Now, are we finally going to the aquarium? Yeah! She beams brightly, her smile proving infectious. Turning to me, Aline's emerald eyes stare into my own, checking my reflection after today's events. As rough as she might be, emerald eyes, does she? Oh, she does have green eyes. And Aline really does care about others. Let's go, Aline. With this, she gives one of those few smiles she dares give. It feels like a reward to see them, and I feel myself wanting to see them more and more. I see you. I don't know if you see you, but I see you. Hey. Oh, okay, so you went to the... Okay. So, they had the outing. I guess we're not drawing fish today. Okay. We're back in the art room. I briefly wonder who's in the art room as I proceed along the second floor hallway. Well, less wonder and more hope. Oh. Caprice will be there, I have no doubt of that, but I'm starting to enjoy being around Aline. Her paintings are so nice to see. Anytime I manage to make her warm to me feels somehow rewarding. Someone like Caprice smiles all the time, and the moment we sat beside each other in the biology lecture, my fate was sealed as she began chatting to me without prompting. I don't mind that at all, finding her bubbly attitude uplifting. If a little overbearing, there's little about her that she keeps to herself. While when Aline gives praise, or even just smiles, feels genuinely earned. I think that's the difference. Okay. When reaching the door and opening it, the otherwise empty room is filled with greetings of a certain loud girl, sitting at a table with a sketchbook in front of her. She takes a brief break from her work. Good afternoon, Allison! Hi. You look cheerful as usual. I'm super ready for today's art club meeting. She pumps her fist as I walk in, earning a sincere Yuri smile. I feel a little bad for her first reaction upon entering before being disappointment, given her earnest sense of friendship with me. Well, I apologize if I'm having a little bit of word trouble. I know you guys give me a lot of leeway, and I really appreciate it. I need it sometimes, especially if I've been reading for a while. Shrugging it off, I pile my books onto another table and take a couple of pencils from the side of the table which Caprice has commandeered. Oh! Glance at the sketchbook Caprice has been sketching in makes me stop in my tracks. I have to look up at her and then back down again, just to confirm that this was done by the same person. Her casual doodles were cute, but she has a real talent for this stuff now that I can see her more serious work. I never really questioned how much Caprice has practiced her art. Now that I think of it, I'm left a little chastened for underestimating how much effort she puts into this hobby. Oh! Motivated to try a little better myself, I take a seat and open up my notebooks. Flipping to the mostly empty page, I ponder for a moment before setting about sketching a cat. It's always my favorite subject to doodle. Oh, it's cute. I lose track of time as I start to get into it, trying to replicate Caprice's shading from memory. It's only when Caprice pipes up with another greeting that I take a break. Aline strides through the doorway as I look up, giving a quick, perfunctory wave to the both of us. She looks barely awake, but given how tired she looks, it's hard to say if it's any worse than usual. Uh-huh. As we exchange greetings and the Caprice gets back to her sketching, Aline's eyes follow my notebook. Without breaking stride, she turns on the ball of her high boots to take a detour from her easel and peer at my work. Aline's figure looms above me as she stands in front of me, fingers pressed on the top of my sketchbook as she looks down. It conjures up feelings I haven't felt since middle school, as if a student shrinking before her teacher. Oh, haven't done this in a while, have you? Sorry. Why are you apologizing? If you haven't, you haven't. You have the fundamentals right, at least, which only comes with practice. Her fingertip skates back and forth on the paper, pointing out this and that. Musculature looks off, but that's a pain at the best of times for animals. Try to draw from references instead of relying on what your mind thinks something else looks like. A weight feels as if it's been lifting from my shoulders. It's not exactly high praise, but the fact she's willing to give me pointers feels like validation. You like cats? I have one back home. Explains it. More of a dog person myself, really. Are you? Are you really? Like, not to down your decision here, but dogs are very needy, and you don't seem like the person who really wants to deal with something really needy. Like, cats are a masterclass in consent. Ever had one? Would have been nice, but my parents weren't interested in the idea. Sounds like you and your parents don't get along very well. We don't. The pet thing has nothing to do with it. They wanted me to go into one of their pre-approved careers, and I didn't. Oh, I thought it would have been something more complicated. Sometimes things really are as simple as they seem. Oh, there's a lot of drama there. I'm sure that things will work out eventually. That's nice. Did everything darken with that one? I opened my mouth to respond, but the tone behind her voice makes it clear that she considers this discussion over. Yeah. The air goes cold between us, leaving me at a loss for words. My shoulders slump in defeat. All I meant to do was cheer her up. No, my dear. You brought up a very sensitive topic, and anything that says, I don't get along with my parents, and you say, it'll work out eventually. No. No. Don't do that. Found family over real family. I think it's, going back to found family, something just popped in my brain. I was like, oh yeah, mention that. A lot of people will say, blood is thicker than water. And try to spin that as, like, the blood you have, as in, like, the family blood, but it's not that. It's a shortened version of the blood of the coven is thicker than the water from the womb, which means those you choose to be your family, to be yours, are more important than that of which you were born from. That's purely it. It's actually supporting found family, but it's kind of been shortened and then twisted in our modern sense. So, found family, much more important. Why did I go off on this? Oh yeah, parents. She steps over to another table and pulls off her coat. Caprice gleefully fills the awful silence with her bubbly voice. Hey, have you tried doing other stuff as well? What do you mean? You know, other kinds of art. There's oils, watercolor, pottery, fletching. I both paint and do sketch work, so it's not like you need to keep to one thing or another. I can get some pottery stuff if you want. Aline barely restrains herself from rolling her eyes. By harassing the poor professor into giving you some kiln time and clay. It's not harassment, it's negotiating. I think I'll be fine for now. Aline gives me one final piece of advice as she turns toward the cupboard, taking advantage of the lull from Caprice focusing on her own work. Don't worry about her. Just keep at it. Practice might not make perfect, but it'll get you close. I'm sure Aline means well with her efforts at teaching, but it's a vast change to the way I used to draw as a kid and in high school, being a little more than the occasional scribble when an idea struck. That was a lot of noise. Barely having time to put pencil to paper, a clatter at the front of the room draws the attention of both Caprice and I, as Aline fiddles, both of us get up to see what's happening. What's up? Standing at the old wooden cabinet at the front of the room, Aline gives a couple more sharp tugs at the door with all her usual gentleness before turning to Caprice. Door to the cabinet is locked. Nah, they never lock it after class. She bounces over to Aline and takes the handle on her grip, giving it several pulls at various creative angles in case it's jammed. After one last try, hard enough to have her feet slip on the floor, Could you say that again? I didn't quite catch what you said. As they face off, I take a look at the cabinet between them. It's the type of lock I've tried before. Not particularly high-end. Then again, never done this with two people peering over my shoulder. Oh my goodness, are you a lockpick? Is that how you did that vending machine trick? As they both look at me, I realize there isn't any backing down now. Glancing out the door to make sure there isn't anyone listening, I continue on. I could maybe try picking it. You can do that? Someone sure has a knack for skills that upstanding people shouldn't have. All I could do is, in response, is wilt. Lean's not exactly wrong, even if I do like to think I only use such things when I should. We don't really have much of an option. Think you can do it? Accepting my fate, I get up and hold my hands towards them. I'll need a couple of paper clips. Doop! Woohoo! Okay, what was the point of that? Taking to my feet once more, Aline and Caprice look more dubious than impressed. Well, did you get it? A little more confident than Caprice, her face having been plastered right beside the lock out of curiosity as I work. Take a long breath and reach out to the handle, giving it a timid tug. In relief, the relief in the room is palpable as the old door creaks open, revealing shelf upon shelf of supplies. Awesome! Caprice gives a tight hug from behind and full Nelson! In the excitement, leaving me awkwardly laugh off the praise as Aline starts taking her paints and brushes. She rights herself and Caprice detaches herself from me. Aline gives a couple of claps on the shoulder with her free hand. You did good. Where, or maybe I should say why, did you pick up skills like that? I just like learning things. Taking an interest in the conversation, Caprice leans back towards us. What kind of things? Other cool stuff like that? Just things. Schoolwork wasn't too hard, so instead of studying, I ended up teaching myself stuff like how to pick locks and tinker with different machines to keep myself occupied. Are you aware of how sketchy that sounds? It's not about doing bad things. They're just puzzles. The point is working them out, not getting free stuff. When I put it that way, I guess it is pretty useless to learn. That's pretty funny to be saying right now. Caprice nudges Aline, who just raises an eyebrow. She makes a decent point. Hoping that no staff were around to notice what just happened, I throw the twisted paper clips into the bin before heading to my table, as Caprice takes to hers and Aline sets herself at her easel. Without further ado, we each set to work. That was cute, guys. It's a nice atmosphere with the three of us working away. Oh, wow. The progress on that. Ooh. Three of us working away on our own little projects. I'm not sure sketching cats in the notebook really counts as much of a project, but having friends around makes it somehow more meaningful. Aww. That was cute. With winter setting in, I find myself settled in for an evening on the couch watching a movie on television, blanket draped over me to try and keep warm. Rose isn't back from work, and with the garbage taken out and washing up done, it probably won't hurt to take things easy for the rest of the evening. A loud ping comes from beside me, my hand automatically reaching for the phone, sitting on the couch in response. Probably Rose saying she'll be late, dooming me to microwave noodles for dinner again. Or perhaps not. Don't recognize the number or use her avatar at all. I'm briefly considering saying no, but that would be mean. I could barely make out their picture beyond what I think is yellow hair. I don't even know any blondes besides Aline and Millie. The latter's unlikely to be messaging me. Aline? Wallace helped me set this thing up. What's with your profile pic? I took the photo when I was setting it up. Find any nice apps yet? I haven't tried looking. I don't really get it. Can't help but giggle a little. Happy she's making the effort when she made it clear she wasn't interested before. I don't really get it. I'll help you with it tomorrow. That'd be good. Thanks. Sorry if I type slowly. This keyboard is weird. Practice makes perfect. About that. Wanted to say sorry about the parents thing. I was too touchy. It's okay. Wasn't really my business. Life doesn't always have a happy ending. Aw. Things don't work out, and that's that. You still have to try though. My optimism little thing. People are good. You just have to have faith. At least, that's what I think. I don't get you at all. Oh god. Oh Jesus. Oh, it's Rose. Ah. Out of the corner of my eye. No. I think that goes both ways. I see. Taken completely unawares, I leap up the couch and spin around, barely keeping the hold of my phone in my hand. When did you get in? Just now. Sorry, couldn't help myself. A long breath to save myself as my heart slowly returns to its normal pace. Rose just grins curlishly as as she walks off to hang up her coat. Your mate's back. Catch you tomorrow? See you. With that, I tap the side button to lock the phone once more, putting it on the counter beside me. You look happy. All I could do was grimace, my face becoming flushed from embarrassment at her bullying. Thanks to my cheeks mildly hurting, I could tell she isn't wrong. Oh, hurting from smiling? I mean it. Does me good to see you managing to get yourself a social circle and all. You were worried? Can you blame me? No guys around, no friends, always being so nervous? You've changed a lot. Guess Helene was right. Everybody really is there for me. Rose isn't wrong either. I do have friends now, and the art club's starting to become a welcome little slice of familiarity in the campus. Caprice, Wallace, Helene, everyone's really nice to me. Yet it's Helene I can't stop thinking about. Behind that cold exterior of hers, there's a genuinely kind person. What's with that face? Nothing. Gonna come eat or play on your phone all day. I like Rose. I like Rose a lot. Oh, okay. Back at school. I think that's a good place for us to hop off today. Whoa. Oh. Before we hop into the next part, I think this is a good stopping part for now. I hope you're enjoying the start of Act 2. It looks like it's really cute. I really am excited to see the conversations and the relationship evolve, because we're starting to get a taste of it. Because out of nowhere, Aline throws away her whole mindset of I don't need a phone to try and figure it out for Allison. Specifically for Allison. She goes out of her way to say sorry to Allison and to message her. And Allison, of course, it seems, is starting to feel that flustered feeling of there's something more kind of here, and I want to see how that evolves. It's very interesting. This whole game is very interesting. I'm loving it. I hope you're loving it just as much as I am. I hope you subscribe and ring the bell. It really does help my channel if you're able to do that. It looks like analytics-wise, about 70% of the people who watch this and watch my Let's Plays don't subscribe, which I think is average for a YouTube channel, unless you're a big gamer like a Jacksepticeye or a Markiplier, of which there's a much higher percentage subscribe rate, even though the lesser channels like, you know, myself and others, of course, the more every single subscriber actually counts at this lower level. So anyways, besides all of that, I appreciate you all. I hope you're enjoying this. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'm So excited to see where this goes. And with that, I love you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye!